Welcome everybody to another night of American Elite Racing. Playoff race number 3 is what we're doing tonight at Lucas Oil outside of Indianapolis. Tonight we've got 8 drivers still competing for the playoffs, so you'll see them highlighted in green across the top of the screen whenever we get into the session and be able to watch these guys run around the short track. Short track racing is what we're doing tonight, so bumping and running will probably be the predominant thing that makes it passionate tonight. But we'll talk to a couple of the drivers here before we get started and see how they're feeling about tonight's race. Looking at the standings that I was just talking about, these are the 8 drivers that are competing tonight to stay into the playoffs for this race and the next race following. So Nick Gowan leading the points lead right now. Jared Mogard, Jason Fenzer, Austin Greer now in 4th place with his outstanding performance in the first round. Stan Kernathan in 5th, James Ledford 6th, Jamie Haynes 7th, and Jeff No rounding out the top 8 that will be competing for the playoff run into the championship 4 in 2 races. So tonight, everybody's got to be able to get as many points as they possibly can, stay in this thing for as long as they can, and we'll see what happens here tonight. We'll go and grab another driver or a driver here and see how they're looking at tonight's race, if they're looking at it as a do or die, or if they're looking at it as a just grab as many points as you possibly can, but try to stay out of the range of any kind of danger or anything like that. So we'll pull up a driver and talk to them and see how they're doing tonight. Trying to look right now to see who's out on track. I'm seeing Austin Greer is out during qualifying, so I'm not going to pull him up just yet. And actually, I'm not sure if I even see him in the Discord, and I don't. Let me look through the rest of the list here and see who I can grab throughout this qualifying session. I'm going to grab James Ledford since he is currently in the playoff run. James, you got a copy of the SWATs in the booth.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, James, we've got the third race of the playoffs. Tonight is the first race of the second round, and we're at the short track just outside of Indianapolis, Lucas Oil. It's a do-or-die kind of situation here. You're sitting in 6th right now in the point standings for this race. You got to be able to get up into that top 4 to make it to the next round after next week's race. How are you looking at tonight's race?
I just bought the track before I got in here, so this is my first laps on here in practice. So just have to see how it goes. I'm not super confident in my abilities here.
Well, a lot of people look at it as it could be a do-or-die thing if you're at the bottom half, but obviously the points just reset, so you're not out of it. You're only 6 points back from 3rd. So, all you got to do is you either have the mindset of going in here and trying to grab as many points as possible, trying to get to the front, trying to be aggressive, trying to get a win or something like that, or you have the mindset of trying to just make it through tonight, collecting as many points as possible, but trying to stay away from danger. Either one of those sound right, or do you have a totally different strategical move for tonight?
Yeah, just try to stay out of wrecks or whatever, and like in practice, you got to be real nice and smooth here. You can't get in the gas too fast, or the truck will get loose.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming up to the booth here. I'll send you back down to your team. Could you remind me what team that is that you are driving for?
It's Ion Motorsports.
Ion Motor, okay. All right, I'll send you back down to your teammates. Enjoy tonight's race and good luck.
All right, thanks.
All right, that was James Ledford, who's currently in 7th in the points. I'll look for another driver here and see if I can find another one for us and talk to him here and see how he's thinking about tonight's race. Mr. Stout Whiskey Jeff No, you got a copy of the SWATs in the booth.
Hey, what's up, SWATs?
What's going on? We got Indianapolis, or just outside of Indianapolis tonight at Lucas Oil. Short track racing, you're currently in the top 8 that's moving into this round to compete for the final 4 here in 2 weeks. How are you looking at tonight's short track racing? I know there's a lot of short tracks around us here in North Carolina, but how are you going to look at tonight's race?
We'll see, man. It's a smaller field, which probably hurts me a little bit more. Just because strategy is not going to play as big as a part as I would like it to. Especially with this this league being kind of top heavy as far as the top guys. Thinking about it, I'm not stupid, you know, Bogart and Penzler and Nick and Jamie. They're just they're stout.
Come on, man. You're stout. You're stout whiskey. Come on. We're at a short track. I mean, anything can happen. Bump and run, a missed turn in, anything like that can happen. You're only 6 points back from third. You're tied for fourth, essentially, with being in this lineup. So, I mean, you're not out of it. So, come on, buck up. Grab a Bud Light or Miller Lite, whatever it is. Well, I assume it's probably Miller Lite now.
I'm not drinking Translate, Kurt.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. But so yeah, grab a Miller Lite and get that shirt ripped off and get ready to get that white knuckle going for short track racing.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll see what we can do. I think my computer's actually getting ready to die, to be honest. I had a hard time loading in the other night. I'm having a hard time now. Cars are jumping all over the place. So see if we can't weather the storm and reset this junk after race. So I definitely don't want to buy a new computer.
All right, well, I got faith in you. I want to see you in that Final Four competing for a championship. I want to see you get a win too. So go out there and just do whatever you can, collect as many points, and try to make it to the next round.
I appreciate it, Kurt.
Yep. All right, you want me to send you down to Aeons, or you want me to put you back in the
Yep,
Southern?
back in Canadian.
Canadian? All right. All right, so that was Mr. Stout Whiskey there driving the 55 Winn-Dixie paint scheme truck tonight and battling with the top 8 to get into the next round. Tonight's short track race will pretty much start this thing off with a bang. Guys will have to survive to make it through here, so we'll see who can do that. I'm looking for another driver here. We got Mr. Jamie Haynes, so I'll grab him real quick. Jamie, you got a copy of the SWATs in the booth.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on? You are competing still for that Final Four spot. We've got 2 races this round. Lucas Oil tonight, short track racing at its finest, just outside of Indianapolis. You are tied for 4th, essentially. You've been riding in pretty much 4th all season. What do you got to do tonight to try to make it into the next race? Is it just survival with it being short track racing, or are you going to go out there and try to be a little more aggressive and try to collect as many points as possible, which could put you in danger?
I'd say for the first 100 or so laps, it's survival and just being there still. And then when it gets to be 30, 40 to go, then I'll see where I'm at and figure out how aggressive I can be.
Oh, come on. You're going to give me the typical PC answer?
I'm giving you the straightforward, honest answer because if I was in Nick's position and, 14, 15 points ahead of the cut line, then it would be, all right, I'm going for the win on lap 1. But I'm not, so I'm giving you the straightforward, honest answer.
Okay, well, I mean, you've been competing, like I said, you've been sitting pretty much in 4th in the standings since basically the week 2 of the season. So I really want to see you be able to get to that Final Four. There's a couple of you in here I've really been pulling for the season to get that win and make it to the Final Four to compete with these guys that have been just kind of racking up the wins. And it's like Stout just said when I interviewed him, it's a top-heavy league with, Gowan, Fensler, and Mogard. But you've been right there in 4th all season, so I'd really like to see you make it to that Final Four in the final season for AER and maybe collect that championship, and you won't have to ship it to nobody.
Be fine with me. I got the other trophy sitting right here beside my rig, so I'd be fine having another one beside it.
All right, well, I'll send you back down to Southern Canadian Racing, and we'll see how tonight's race goes.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, good luck.
Thanks, man.
All right, we've got about a minute and 40 seconds left out there. If there's somebody in the field that you're going to be paying attention to tonight or wanting me to pay attention to or pull up at some point throughout the race, please let me know in the chat. I see JF Greer 63 out there rooting on his son Austin right now. Mr. Greer, Austin is currently sitting 3rd right now in qualifying, so we'll see how he ends up here before we get going. But Austin's been really laying down some really good races, especially the last half of the season. Pretty much finishing in the top 8 almost every single race. So, finished in the top 3 twice. Need to see him get that maybe a 2nd or a 3rd or 1st. But he's currently 4th in the points, tied with those bottom half of the 4 that are competing. So, we'll see what happened here. So we got about 30 seconds left in qualifying, and we'll round this field of apparently about 15 tonight. So not a lot of guys showing up for the end of the season, which is disappointing to me. It's the last season for AER. I'd really like to see the full field that started out this season, or as close as you can get. I think it really shows a lot of respect for Jamie and the admins that have put on a lot of stuff this season for this league. Jamie's been awesome as an owner, doing everything he can to promote and push this league. And with it being the final season in 2 races, it'll end. I'd really like to see a full field here before we get to the end. But tonight we've got, like I said, 15 in the field. Qualifying is wrapping up, and we'll go into the grid process, and I'll pull that up here in just a second. And there it is. So Nick Gowan is going to be your pole sitter tonight, with Jason Fensler to his outside, sitting second tonight. Austin Greer finishes up qualifying third tonight, so sitting in that second row on the inside. Jamie Haynes qualifies fourth tonight. Mike Miller in the 15 Toyota TRD is sitting fifth. Jared Mogard sixth. Jeremiah Nelson seventh. Michael Carter eighth. Charles Mosley Jr. ninth. Jeff No, who we just talked to, Mr. Stout Whiskey, going to start 10th tonight. James Ledford, who we spoke to, starting 11th. Dylan Pickelsheimer starting 12th. Adam Botten 13th. Doug King 14th. And Jeff Taylor going to round out the field of 15 tonight. Once again, that's going to be our field for tonight. 15 drivers competing for the win here at Lucas Oil in Indianapolis. Third race of the playoffs, and we'll see who can come away with tonight's win. Nick Gowan seems to be really fast tonight with a 22.176 as the pole sitter, but not too far off is the 5 truck of Jason Fensler with a 22.191. Austin Greer misses it by 1/100th with a 22.192. So top 3 really close. So we'll see how this shakes out tonight's race. AER, like I said, final season, third race of the playoffs, Lucas Oil, and these guys are going to be fired up, and we're going to get going and rolling as the pace car will pull off pit road, pulling these guys out onto the short track. A little bitty track tonight, about a half mile, 0.67 mile oval. And we've got 140 laps, so these things are going to ring off pretty quickly here for tonight's race. But Nick Gowan pulls up, I think, is like 6th or 7th pole for tonight with his win for the pole tonight. So we'll see how he does. But, yeah, a lot of stuff going on tonight. We'll see who can come away with this thing. Third race of the playoffs, big night for a lot of guys. 8 guys still competing for the championship. And it's going to be a fun one here at Short Track Racing. Drivers are going down the very short backstretch straightaway right now, going into turn 3 and 4 with the pace car towing these guys around. He's going to duck on down pit road, and Nick Gowan and Jason Fensler are going to come out of turn 3 and 4 screaming on the loud pedal to get this thing rolling off. Into turn 3 and 4, coming into the Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air. Nick Gowan, Jason Fensler on the gas pedals to get down into turn 1 and 2. Jason Fensler with a great jump on the outside. Can he carry the momentum around Nick Gowan? Nick Gowan on the bottom lane as the pole sitter did not get a good jump, and Jason Fensler is going to take the lead away from Nick Gowan to start this 140-lap race. Austin Greer battling on the inside of the 53 of Jamie Haynes for third position. Nick Gowan trying to come back on the 5. Looks low again going into turn 1 and 2. Doesn't look like the bottom is really helping a lot of people. It looks like the top half of the track is where everybody's kind of trying to sit. Austin Greer getting really loose on the bottom and hits the inside wall. I am not seeing a caution out there, but Austin Greer is stuck. starting to move, but his engine is smoking. Not a good start to the race for Austin Greer in the 45 Micro Center. Got really loose coming off of turn 2, swung down into the infield and hit the infield wall, causing major catastrophic damage to that 45. He will try to get it down pit road to get that thing started worked on, see if he can make it back out on track. Cautions may be a prevalent thing tonight, so we'll see if he can make it back on the lead lap at some point. Jason Fensler still out in front when that 5 truck. 31 of Nick Gowan sitting second. Jamie Haynes in third. Jared Mogard up to fourth now. Mike Miller sitting in fifth. Jeremiah Nelson sixth. Michael Carter in seventh. Charles Mosley Jr. in eighth. Jeff No ninth. And Dylan Picklesimmer rounding out the top 10 for this Lucas Oil Indianapolis race. Austin Greer fixed his truck with a fast repair and comes back out onto the track, but he is unfortunately going to be 1 lap down and looks like he's going to go a 2nd lap down as he can't get into the field there as they're trying to get through, and it looks like actually that he's going to come back down pit road. And I think he quite possibly missed his pit box or something, because he is coming back down pit road, and it looks like he was only in pit road for 4.1 seconds, so not sure what's going on with Austin Greer, but he is not looking good tonight with being down 2 laps already, 6 laps into this race. He is 2 laps down into the pit stall. He makes it. I don't see any tires going on. I don't see a fuel can going in. Looks like he is serving a penalty, so he may have received a penalty for speeding on pit road or speeding on exit and is having to serve it, as he is now 17 seconds in that pit box. I would say that is for sure the thing. He is now down 3 laps, so not a very good start to this race for Austin Greer. We'll see if he can manage to get his way back on the lead lap at some point. With only 15 cars in the field, though, it's going to be hard if these guys don't cause accidents. They're going to get stretched out at some point here, and we'll just be seeing leaders passing lap down cars. Jared Mogard back there in 4th is trying to get underneath Jamie Haynes, but not able to do so through turns 1 and 2. Now trying to look on 3 and 4 to try to get a run off the corner to get underneath Jamie. Very short straightaways here, so not able to carry a ton of speed down the straightaways, but you really got to get it through the corner. A lot of guys floating to the top side of the track to carry that momentum. Jamie Haynes battling on the outside in that 3rd position. Jared Mogard trying desperately to get underneath the 53 and carry some speed, but not able to do much there. Actually bouncing off the wall through 3 and 4. Austin Greer does make his way back out onto the track and is up here with the leaders right now. He is currently 5 laps down in this race. Needs a lot of cautions to come out for him to get back on the lead lap. Jason Fensler in the 5, looking for his 4th win of the season. He is out here in front of Nick Gowan, who seems to be kind of just pacing himself. He's got a 17-point lead on the rest of the field in the points. Nick Gowan getting a little loose, swerving it back and forth there. Keeps it underneath him coming out of that corner, and it looks like turn 2 seems to be a little bit of a problem for a lot of drivers, getting loose coming off the corner, so they may be getting into the gas just a little too early there. Austin Greer sitting there in the 3rd spot behind Jason Fensler, but not on the lead lap, trying to get one of his lead laps back. A little bit fresher tires as he came down pit road, but it's going to be a long road tonight for him. He's fortunately for him, he's got 140 laps to do so. We're 13 laps into the race already, though. He is 5 laps down. Jason Fensler really laying down the laps, has the fastest lap in the field right now. And seems to be the fastest truck on track as well right now. So we'll see if he can hang on to it, see if Nick Gowan is rope-a-doping him back here and making him burn off his tires so that Nick can reel him back in on the later run. Austin Greer, though, really desperately trying to get by Nick Gowan to see if he can get up here to Jason Fensler and maybe get one of those laps back before a caution would come out, and then he could get another lap back. That would be a 2-for-1 there if he could do so, but does not look like he's got enough to get around Nick Gowan. Obviously, he did qualify well. He qualified in 3rd, so he essentially would be sitting right where he was if he did not get loose coming out of turn 2 and hit that infield wall. Jeremiah Nelson trying to work on the back of Jamie Haynes as Jared Mogard got past Jamie Haynes for 4th place or for 3rd place. Jamie Haynes now sitting in 4th. Jeremiah Nelson sitting there in 5th, looking at the back bumper of the 53, trying to get around him as well. 15 of Mike Miller sitting there in 6th. Kind of looks like he's just kind of rolling through the night here. The 2 of Michael Carter sitting in 7th right now. That Nick Sanchez deuce that he's driving around right now. Charles Mosley Jr. up to 8th. Jeff No up to 9th. Just kind of rolling and pacing himself here. Dylan Picklesimmer sitting in 10th in that 38. James Ledford back here in 8th right now, or 11th. Doug King in 12th. Jeff Taylor right on his heels, sitting in 13th. Adam Botten in 14th, and Austin Greer in 15th. Unfortunately, I don't see Stan Carnathan in the field tonight, which is a playoff driver. He is currently 5th in the points, so not a good thing if Stan missed tonight's race. Stan, if you're out there, let me know what's up, bud. I thought you were going to be here tonight for tonight's race, unless you had a emergency or work thing. But, yeah, that's going to be a pretty big deficit to get through. Austin Greer still working on the back of the 31, trying to get around him so he can try to get up to the 5 to get one of his laps back early in this race. Not able to do so, though. Nick Gowan very strong on short tracks and really any track we go to, so that's a tough run. If Austin can get by him, though, he will have a little clean air to try to run down Jason Fensler to get one of those laps back. Jared Mogar back in 3rd, leading Jamie Haynes, Jeremiah Nelson, and Mike Miller. We're 21 laps into the short track race here at Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis. Wow, couldn't spit that one out. And Jason Fensler has led every lap tonight so far, 22 laps into the run. Nick Gowan has been in 2nd the entire time. Got a little loose at one point and has slipped back from Jason Fensler. Fensler's still one of the fastest trucks on track, out front by over a second right now over Nick Gowan. Nick Gowan, though, seems to be the driver that usually conserves tires and has really good runs towards the end. So we'll see if that's what his plan is tonight, if that's his strategy. Jared Mogar trying to run down that group up in front of him. Jamie Haynes leading Jeremiah Nelson and Mike Miller trying to run the 00 back down. We're going to take a lap here with your leader, Jason Fensler, in the cockpit to see what he is doing to conquer this track here. You can see he's really high up in the turns. He's riding around on the middle to top lane, trying to carry as much speed as he possibly can. He gets as much as he can down the straightaway, lets off a little early, rolls it through the corner, floats up the track just a little bit, tries to get a little bit into the gas, just stabbing it a little bit, and then gets back into it about 3/4 through the corner. Tries to get some more speed down the straightaway, rolls it into the next corner, floats up the track again. He's basically essentially doing the same thing repeatedly in all 4 corners, just trying to carry as much speed as possible, and it's working for him so far. He is 2nd fastest in the field. Nick Gowan faster than Jason Fensler right now, but not by much, by 1/100th. We'll take a ride along with Mike Miller in the 15. Jeremiah Nelson hard into the wall right there in front of the 15 of Mike Miller. Mike able to stay off the back bumper of the 7, but the 7 hit the wall pretty hard there. Definitely got some scrapage down the side of his truck there, but looks to be still moving along, trying to get around and get away from the 15, but in jeopardy of losing that position as the 15 closes in on the back bumper. Trying to get a shot of the 7 on the side. I'm not seeing a whole lot of damage. He does have some right behind the front wheel fender there, but not tremendous amount of damage. Fensler out to about a 1.5 second lead over Nick Gowan in this race. And we're now at 30 laps into the race. And Fensler seems to be dominating so far. Did not get the pole, started second, but definitely look to shoot up in front of Nick Gowan immediately in that first turn, and has not looked back since. Austin Greer desperately needing a caution. He has moved up one position as it looks like Adam Botten is down 12 laps out of this race. And as Fensler continues to lead this race, we're going to take a quick side-by-side break and come right back. Won't miss any of the action. Back here at AER Lucas Oil track tonight, short track racing. We are 46 laps into the race. Jason Fenzer still out front by over a second over Nick Gowan. Austin Greer not in the race contention right now as he is currently still 5 laps down, but trying to battle with Nick Gowan to get up to Jason Fenzer to try to get one of those laps back. He's been hanging with Gowan and Fenzer, not losing a ton of time to those two. He qualified third, so it's not super surprising there as he seems to have a fast truck tonight, but got really loose coming off of turn 2 on lap 3 and hit the infield wall and then got a penalty and had to come down and serve that. So he is currently 5 laps down, but a caution comes out. He may be able to get that 1 lap back pretty quickly, or one of those laps back, but he's crossing fingers and toes right now to get a caution out on track. Jason Fenzer continuing to dominate this thing, leading 48 laps after qualifying second tonight. He is still one of the top 3 fastest trucks on track 50 laps into this race, and Nick is not able to run him down. Nick does not have to, though. He's got a 17-point lead on the playoff drivers. As I had those standings up earlier, I'll pull them up again here. But, yeah, Nick Gowan up 17 points. He's up 7 over Jared Mogard, and he's up 11 over Jason Fenzer, who's currently leading this race. Austin Greer sitting there in 4th right now, tied with the bottom half of the playoff drivers, but he is 5 laps down, so he is going to lose some positions tonight. He's going to need to pick it up for next race here, playoff race number 4. But Jason Fenzer just really looking strong tonight to get that 4th win of the season. He's got 3 this season, Jared Mogard 5 and Nick Gowan 6. So definitely trying to boost his morale going into the next round. If he can get the win tonight, it should propel him a little further into the playoff point standings to where he doesn't have to do too much next week. But right now we're 52 laps into the race of 140. And laps are ticking off pretty quick, about 23 seconds per lap for these guys at the short track here. Only 1 incident tonight, but no caution came out for Austin Greer when he spun to the infield and hit the wall. Looks like pit stops are underway as Charles Mosey Jr. is making his way down pit road. You see the 89 getting service done on pit road. Right side's up, left side's going up now. Getting some fuel in this thing, and I don't know what the fuel mileage is tonight, but 54 laps into the short track. It's only a half-mile track. I would have assumed they could have gone at least 80, but 140 laps into the race, this could be his one and only pit stop if that's the case. Nick Gowan starting to run down Fenzer a little bit, but you see Nick Gowan back there in second, getting really loose coming off the corner. It looks like Nick has settled into his strategy of trying to conserve tire and maybe trying to run down Fenzer. He's still 1.5 seconds back, so maybe Fenzer will come back to him here before we get to green flag pit stops. But Nick's usually pretty good at conserving tire and working that strategy. Austin Greer still sitting there trailing the 31. He's in his original starting position, but unfortunately he's 5 laps down. Jared Mogard up 3 spots, sitting in 4th in that double zero, looking for his 6th win of the season as well tonight. Trying to run down this grouping, but his lap times are about a 10th slower than the leaders. Jamie Haynes currently sitting in 4th in the race, and he is sitting 6th in the points, so he's got to have a good night tonight. Mike Miller sitting there in 5th with Jeremiah Nelson and Jeff No, who's crept up and caught these 3 drivers who have been battling since basically the drop of the green flag. Can Jeff No get up here and grab a couple spots to help himself out? He and Jamie would be battling for the playoff spots. It's a 4-truck battle back here, almost 4 different lines as well. So guys are searching, trying to find some grip, and there's not a whole lot of room out there to find it. Jamie Haynes in the wall. Jeremiah Nelson following him into the wall as well. Mike Miller and Jeff No not able to capitalize on those two mistakes by those two drivers, but no worse for the wear, still continuing. So like I said, the drivers that have that neon green on the screen, those are the drivers competing for the playoffs right now. The top 8 are competing, but a few drivers not showing up tonight is going to hurt their chances on moving on as well. Jason Fensler still out front by a second and a half, working on some lap down traffic. James Ledford right now going a lap down, and he is currently sitting 9th. A playoff driver going a lap down, so he's going to have to work his way up through the field as well. Looks like Mike Miller has had some contact and slipped off of that group that we were watching there. Jeff No taking his place in 6th position. Mike Miller slipping to 7th, but about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds back from the pack that he was racing. Jamie Haynes and Jeremiah Nelson have been side by side or bumper to bumper pretty much all night, following each other throughout this race. Jeremiah Nelson trying to get underneath Jamie Haynes right now, but not able to make the pass. The bottom line is not the preferred line, and these guys are having a lot of trouble to make passes. Bump and run like Martinsville and Richmond are probably the style of racing they need to try to do here, but they're not able to do it. Jeremiah Nelson still underneath Jamie Haynes. Jamie Haynes fighting back on the top side. Jeremiah Nelson really low on the track. Jeff No able to claw his way back up into this battle here. Maybe able to get a 2-for-1 if these two get side by side and bang doors. Looks like Jamie's going to be able to hang on to the position of 4th with the momentum on the top side. If Jeff can get up here, he needs to get behind the 53 and try to push the 53 past the 7 and replace the 7 for that position for 5th. Jeremiah again underneath the 53 trying to make the pass. Jamie Haynes holding tough up on the top side. Vice versa for Jeremiah. He needs Jamie to make a mistake going into the corner, getting off the corner so that he can slide up in front of that 53. And there it is. Is the 7 going to complete the pass? He does finally complete the pass as we are now 69 laps into the race. He finally completes that pass. Jeff No going to try to do the same thing to Jamie if he can get underneath him. We got more pit stops underway. Mike Miller down pit road right now. Coming back out onto the track will be 1 lap down. We are halfway into this race, 71 laps into a 140-lap race. Jason Fensler still leading this race by almost 2 seconds now. He is out to He crept over the 2-point mark there, so he's got about a 2-second lead over Nick Gowan, and Jared Mogard is about 8 seconds back. So a lot of distance between the leaders. Everybody is spread out on this track besides that grouping of Jamie Haynes, Jeff Noe, and Jeremiah Nelson. But now that Jeremiah Nelson's gotten by the 53, he has stretched away from these two. Jeff Noe needing to do the same thing if he can get by Jamie Haynes. Mike Miller currently 2 laps down after the pit stop and gets really loose on the corner and causes the caution to come out. Spins it, does a 360 right in front of the leaders. Austin Greer, though, going to get a lap back. Well, maybe not, because there are several drivers 1 lap down or 2 laps down in front of him. He would have to stay out after this, but he has been on track for 66 laps. I don't know if that would be a smart move, but at this point, he's got to do whatever he's got to do to get a lap back, to get into contention, to get in that lucky dog. I would stay out if I was Austin Greer here and try to get a lap back, and then hope and pray for another caution, a quick caution, as he pit about 6 laps into the race, so he should have about 13 more laps of fuel. Leaders are coming down pit road, and that is Jason Fenzer leading them down with Nick Gowan closed on the back bumper. Fenzer going to hit his pit box. Nick Gowan hits his pit box. Who can come out first? Oh, and Fenzer beats out the 31 as the 31 looked like he started to move but didn't get into the gears fast enough. Jeremiah Nelson staying out on track to, not sure what that was about, but he is now coming down pit road, which means he's going to get a penalty, I believe, for staying out and not pitting on the first section. Austin Greer looks like he stayed out as well to get a lap back, so smart move by Austin there. I think Nelson did that just to get a point, but I don't think that was a smart move there. Fenzer going to be your leader when we go back green here with Nick Gowan sitting second on the outside. Fenzer was able to jump the 31 on the restart or the start of the race and took the lead in turns 1 and 2. Can Nick Gowan repay the same favor the 5 gave it to him in turn 1 and take back the lead? We've got 64 laps to go. We've completed 76, and we'll see if these guys can get this thing underway. Austin Greer needing a handful of cautions here to get back on the lead lap. He has moved up 2 positions at least. He is now in 13th. He has passed Michael Carter and Adam Botten, who are both out of this race. I would pull up your leader, but he is not in the Discord, Jason Fenzer, so I cannot pull him. We're on 1 to green. Those cars that stayed out on that caution are getting their lap back by coming back around to the back half of the field. Austin Greer going to need a quick penalty here, or quick caution here, to get back another lap. But I don't think the field would pit, so He would have to be considered the lucky dog, which he would not be right now. Pace cars down pit road. Nick Gowan and Jason Fenzer. Jason Fenzer choosing the outside line. Gets the jump on the restart and screams into the front. Pulls down in front of Nick Gowan going into turn 1 and 2. Nick Gowan going to be sitting second. Jared Mogart sitting third on fresh tires. Can he get to the top 2? These 3 have been your points leaders. First, second, and third pretty much all season. Have all 3 of the most wins. And we've got another caution out on track. Charles Mosley Jr. is around out of turn 2 and in the same spot that Austin Greer was stuck in. Go down and see if we can find old Nick Gowan. Nick, you got a copy of the SWATs in the booth.
I do. Got you.
All right, bud. You are sitting second right now. You've been chasing the 5 pretty much since the start of the race. You got the pole, so congratulations on that. You're sitting in the points lead by 17 points over the 4th position. But you're only 6 or 7 points up on Mogard, and you're only 11 points up on Fensler. Is this just a race that you just need to finish and try to stay up towards the front, or are you going to try to be aggressive and go get this win as well?
Well, I mean, definitely.
We had a very long green flag run there. You seem to run down Jason just a little bit here and there. Are you trying to conserve tires, or is Jason just really figured something out on what the short track? But your lap times are pretty dang close.
Yeah, I mean, our speed is pretty close. I mean, he definitely got the best of me on that initial start. I messed that up a little bit, and or also the outside lane is also the preferred lane anyway, so especially on restart. And but no, he's definitely. I mean, not to take away anything from Jason. He's definitely figured something out here. I was hoping maybe to see if he would use up a little bit more right front than I did. But no, we're just close on time, and this restart's going to mean a lot.
All right, well, I'll send you back down to your teammates there in Aeon, which I don't know if you even have any in there tonight, as it looks like everybody's kind of spread out. But good luck on tonight's race, and I'm sure we'll probably be talking to you tonight, as I think I've talked to you in just about every single race this season.
Yep, looking forward to it.
All right. All right, so that was Nick Gowan, your current points leader, and sitting second in the race right now. Says that he kind of botched up the start of the race, and Fenzer was able to get around him, but Fenzer's definitely figured out something. He's got the same kind of pace that Nick does. He just can't get to him and make the pass. The bottom line is not the preferred line, so definitely hard to pass, but a couple people have figured it out. Mogard has passed 3. Jeff Knows passed 6. Jeff Taylor up 8 positions. So there's a few out there that have figured out the passing situations. You almost got to treat it like a short track of Richmond and Martinsville with the bump and run. But I don't know how aggressive these guys will be here towards the front, since the 3 of them are currently sitting first, second, and third in the points, and this does not really mean a whole lot for the win. But yes, it's a boost to, continuing the streaks of these guys winning. But pretty much you've won this much, you've gotten this big of a points lead. You just need to make it to that Final Four and then go at it. And I do apologize for that, JF Greer. Did not realize that I had the drivers muted there. But Nick was pretty much just saying that he was going to try to run down the 5 and try to get the win. But the biggest priority is just finishing in the top 3 to maintain his points lead on everybody. Said that he's got the same speed as Fensler, but Fensler must have figured out something, because he thought that Fensler would come back to him, that he would wear out that right front. But Fensler really didn't come back to him very much there. So we didn't have a green flag stop for the leaders, but there was a couple guys that chose to do green flag stops. They went a couple laps down. Some of them got a lot back due to those 2 cautions there, but your boy Austin is still 5 laps down and sitting in 13th, so but he's 1 lap from getting into 12th, and if he can get another couple cautions here, we might see him be able to get back on the lead lap. Hoping he can do so as he's sitting 4th in the points and see if he can climb back up here and battle with these guys. He obviously stuck with the 31 and the 5 pretty much that entire run there after spinning out of turn 2. So he definitely has the speed qualifying 3rd tonight, so he's got the speed to hang with these guys. He just needs to get those laps back. Unfortunately for him, the caution did not come out when he spun out of turn 2 and hit the infield wall. If the caution had come out, he would have stayed on at least the lead lap, but caution did not come out, and it decided to be thrown for the last 2 cautions, which were pretty much the same thing, but didn't happen for him. But Jason Fenzer back out front, still leading this race, and has climbed already to a 2nd lead over Nick Gowan. Jared Mogart sitting there right behind Nick Gowan, not really challenging him, but kind of riding in his coattails a little bit. Jamie Haynes sitting in 4th, Jeff No 5th, Jeremiah Nelson sitting in 6th. These 3 have been battling pretty much all night. You see Austin Greer there. He's got the speed. He just can't get up to the leaders because he is 5 laps down, and he has to start towards the back of the half of the field every single time we have a restart. So he's had to work his way back up into the field, but it doesn't do much if he can't get the laps back. And unfortunately for him, he's not close enough to a leader to make a pass on the leader to get a lap back. But he definitely has the speed tonight. So if he can maintain and try to finish right there around the top 10, he won't lose as much as he would have finishing last tonight. But he's got a chance at least to go into next week's race and put on a good race there, and hope that at least a couple drivers mess up, especially with Stan Kernathan not showing up tonight. He started tonight in 5th in the points. So that's going to be a bonus for Austin to be able to stay in the top 7, where he's only got to really make passes on the 55 and the 53 to get up here and get back to the top 4 to make it to the Final 4 race in 2 weeks. You can see the gap that Jason Fenzer has put on the 31 and the rest of the field. Fenzer looking really fast. He's run a 22.567 that last lap. Gowan right behind him ran a 22.565, so barely faster than Fenzer. And then Fenzer comes right back and runs a faster lap time with a 22.497. So fastest lap of the night is by Fenzer with a 22.188. So these guys have already lost about 3/10 of the speed. But I'm going to have to grab a quick drink, and we'll come right back after the side-by-side commercial break, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back here for American Elite Racing Truck Series at Lucas Oil Playoff Race number 3. And we've got 31 coming to 30 to go as Jason Fenzer continues to lead this race, has led every single lap except for the one lap on her pace lap for Jeremiah Nelson. Nick Gowan sitting in second, not able to run down. Jason Fenzer still sitting 1.7 seconds back. Jared Mogard sitting 3.2 seconds back, sitting in third. Jeff Noe has climbed to fourth in this race. Jamie Haynes up to fifth. Jeremiah Nelson sitting in seventh, or sitting at sixth, sorry. Dylan Picklesimmer in seventh. Jeff Taylor in eighth. Mike Miller in ninth. And Charles Mosley Jr. rounding out the top 10. Jason Fenzer going for his fourth win of the season, playoff race number 3. And this would be a huge jump for Jason and a big push to get into that Final Four championship race here in just 2 weeks. Fenzer has led every single lap pretty much in this race and has dominated this race. Nick Gowan sitting in second, been trying to run down the 5, but just not successful tonight. Started on the pole, but has been sitting second pretty much since the drop of the green flag. Jared Mogard up 3 spots from his starting position in 6th. He's currently sitting in 3rd. Very good night for him, overcoming a few passes there. Jeff Noe up 6 spots, looking to get to Jared Mogard to try to take over to the top 3 spot in that 55 Winn-Dixie paint scheme. Jamie Haynes sitting there in 53, sitting in 5th. Got some scrapage down the right side of his truck, along with the 7 of Jeremiah Nelson with the same kind of damage. Both of them meeting the wall a couple times, racing each other. Dylan Picklesimmer back here in the Zane Smith paint scheme for the 35 Speedco, sitting in 7th. Jeff Taylor in the 27, sitting back here in 8th place right now. Got some damage to the right side of his truck as well. Mike Miller spun and brought out a caution, but is able to get back to 9th place, but he is still 1 lap down. Charles Mosley Jr. spun as well and currently sitting 10th, 1 lap down. James Ledford currently sitting 11th. Doug King in 12th, Austin Greer in 13th. Michael Carter out of the race, and Adam Boughton out of the race as well, sitting 14th and 15th in this race. Now 25 laps to go as Jason Fenzer comes off turn 4. We'll go to 24 to go as this 5 truck is on rails tonight. Has definitely put in some work to Lucas Oil Indianapolis Speedway here, and definitely showing up tonight for a chance for the win, and has put on a really good show out front, leading this entire race. Biggest battle on the track right now is for 3rd position as Jeff Noe continues to work on the 00 of Jared Mogard. Jeff needing a good race tonight as he is currently sitting 8th in the point standings. Jared Mogard sitting 2nd in the point standings, 6 points back from the current points leader, Nick Gowan. But Jeff didn't sound too confident in this race when we talked to him pre-race, but has definitely come out and shown up tonight and has moved up through the field. Must have found something throughout this race because he is definitely rolling and coming up through the field. He is up 6 spots right now and sitting 4th, working on the 00. Jamie Haynes in the 53 didn't sound like he was going to be too comfortable tonight either, but he is currently sitting 5th right now in the race, battling a non-playoff driver in the 7 of Jeremiah Nelson, who has 1 win this season at Talladega, our only winner outside of Mr. Kool-Aid as 2 non-playoff drivers. But the other 3 winners of this season is Jason Fenzer, Nick Gowan, and Jared Mogard. Those guys winning about 14 races out of this season so far. So those 3 very, very top heavy, as Jeff Noe stated in our pre-race interview with him. We'll see if somebody else can come away with the win, but right now it looks like it is Jason Fenzer and Nick Gowan leading this thing to the end as we come to 20 to go now. Fenzer out to about a 2.8 second lead over second place. Second place has about a 2.1 second lead over third. And it looks like Jeff Noe might have slipped back just a little bit from Jared Mogard. He's about 4 tenths back from Jared Mogard. He was right there on the back bumper, so Jeff really putting in some aggressive work right now to try to get back to the 00 to try to get into third to be in that top 3 finish spot. But overall, great night by the 55 in the Winn-Dixie paint scheme. after stating that it probably wasn't going to be that great of a race as he wasn't too comfortable. But to come away with a top 3 or a top 4 tonight is a very big deal for Jeff Noe, who is currently 8th in the points. Jamie Haynes and Jeremiah Nelson still continuing their battle that has been going on since basically the drop of the green flag. These two have been bumper to bumper fighting all night for a position, and Jamie Haynes in the wall there as we went in on board and scrapes the wall, but Jeremiah Nelson not able to capitalize on that hit to the wall for Jamie Haynes. That is like the second or third time now Jamie Haynes has brushed the wall in the corner. Jeremiah Nelson also brushing it multiple times tonight as well. Bottom line is not the preferred line, so even if Jeremiah can get underneath Jamie Haynes, it doesn't do anything for him if he can't clear him, because the momentum is on the top side and Jamie is carrying so much speed on the top side that Jeremiah just cannot complete the pass. He's got to wait for a mistake from the 53 of Jamie Haynes as he looks low again and then dives back up underneath him. He just can't complete the pass. He's going to keep going at it until we come to the checker flag here. We'll see if he's able to make that pass. Mike Miller coming back up into this fight, but he is currently 1 lap down. And see if he plays a factor in this. He looks to be a little faster than these two, actually, but not able to get to him. He started 5th tonight, so great start to the race for Mike Miller, but spun coming out of turn 2 where everybody else has brought out a caution tonight, spun as well. Now with 14 laps to go, Jason Fensler continuing the lead out front by 3.3 seconds over the 31 of Nick Gowan. Fensler trying to clinch off that 4th win of the season, and a good time to do it on playoff race number 3 with 1 race to go before we go to the championship 4. He is currently sitting 3rd in the points. Jamie Haynes and Jeremiah Nelson still battling it back here with Mike Miller now involved in this as well as a lap down car. Does Mike push one of them in front of the other? Jeremiah just working on the 53, trying to make the pass, gets underneath him, slides up just a little bit, not cleared, gets the run off the corner and clears the 53 for position. Jamie trying to do the crossover to go back under, does not have the momentum to do so. Jeremiah is going to be sitting 5th. Jamie Haynes now 6th. Jason Fensler in that fight, Fat Mike Pizza FRE paint scheme, definitely looking like he was bringing it tonight at Lucas Oil. Like I said, has led every lap of this race, and with 10 to go, looks to clinch that 4th win of the season. Jeff Noe slips back from the 0-0, not able to get the pass on the 0-0, but still a win in my books to come to here and say you're not going to have a good race and finish in the top 5. Jared Mogard, another top 3 finish if he can hold on to this top 3 spot. Same with Nick Gowan and Jason Fensler. These 3 have the most top 3 finishes and wins of anybody this season. Austin Greer has stayed in this race, but still 5 laps down. Did not get the caution when he spun out. Did not get the cautions to come out quick enough for him to gain some laps. But it's been pretty much a green flag run tonight with 15 drivers on track. Austin just has not had the time to be able to make up those laps, but showing a lot of grit, staying out on track and finishing this race out. He has now moved up into 13th spot and trying to get to the 16 truck, but not able to get to him there. A lot of heart from the 45 from Austin Greer. Coming to 6 to go. The 5 and the Fensler Racing team is still out front. Now 5 to go as the 5 clinches. 5 laps to go. Goes into turn 1 and 2. Just a dominating performance by the 5 truck. Nobody in front of the 5 truck to interfere for his 4th win of the season as we come to 3 to go. Looking over the spoiler of the 5 truck, and you can see how far back Nick Gowan is. Nobody going to contend tonight with the 5 of Jason Fenzer. Jason Fenzer coming with 2 to go now, going into 3 and 4. With about a 4.5 second lead over the 31 of Nick Gowan. Comes off turn 4 for the white flag will be in the air this time. Jason Fenzer collecting that white flag one more time around Lucas Oil, Indianapolis. 5 truck into 3 and 4 one more time. Comes off turn 4 and checker flag in the air. Jason Fenzer going to win his 4th race of the season. Playoff race number 3 at Lucas Oil, Indianapolis is in the books, and the 5 truck is coming away with the win tonight. His 4th win of the season. Great racing by the 5, just dominant performance there. 2nd place coming away is Nick Gowan. 3rd place is going to go to Jared Mogart. 4th place, Jeff No. 5th place, Jeremiah Nelson. 6th place, Jamie Haynes. 7th place, Dylan Picklesimmer. 8th place, Mike Miller. 9th place, Jeff Taylor. 10th place, Charles Mosley Jr. 11th, James Ledford. 12th, Doug King. 13th, Austin Greer. And 14th, Michael Carter. 15th, Adam Botten. As the 5 truck of Jason Fenzer brings it home with the victory celebration. We'll come right back after this burnout by Jason Fenzer. All right, we're back here for AER playoff race number 3 at Lucas Oil Raceway tonight, just outside of Indianapolis. And the 5 of Jason Fenzer brings it home for his 4th win of the season. The 5 was extremely fast tonight, starting out in the 2nd position, jumping to the lead within first turn, and really never looked back. Jason, congratulations on that 4th win of the season, a big one tonight in the playoff race number 3. This has been kind of a trend all season. The 3 of you guys, between you, Nick Gowan, and Jared Mogart, have been finishing in the top 3 pretty much all season. You guys have, I think it's like now up to like 15 wins this season between the 3 of you, outside of Mr. Kool-Aid and Jeremiah Nelson getting the win at Talladega. It's just been the 3-man show. You guys are the 3 amigos, and I don't know who's going to be able to compete with you, who makes it to that Final 4, but just a dominating performance by you tonight. Led pretty much every lap of the race, besides one lap that apparently Jeremiah Nelson wanted that 1 extra point or something to stay out on track. So, just, I mean, did you put in a bunch of time, or is this a track you just feel really comfortable at, you really like or something? Because you just seem to be really on it tonight. Like, it was just on rails.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a good run. I've run the track before, but I didn't put much practice in prior to the race. Just did a little bit of practice here before the race. So it was a little bit right front dominant in the first run. So the second run, I just tried to stay on the right rear the best that I could. But, you know, Nick and Jared, they make you elevate your game quite a bit to try and beat them. So tonight was our night, and we had a good truck, and it paid off.
I think that's an understatement, because you have the fastest lap of the race by over a tenth. It's just been, I mean, like I said, it's been you 3 pretty much all season with the wins, outside of 2 races. One was at, I think, Atlanta, and then the other one was at Talladega, so I guess technically 2 super speedways. But just been an extremely dominating season by the 3 of you. Like I said, I have a feeling it's for sure going to be the 3 of you into the playoff or the championship 4. I don't know who the 4th will be, as that's a pretty tight battle back there. But I mean, you come away with a 4th win. Mogart has 5. Jared has, or Nick has 6 or something like that. I just, you know, going into the next race, what do you have to do to get another win, to get some more momentum, to go into that championship race that we go to? I don't know what it's going to take for one of the 3 of you, because it seems like if one of you is not on, this could be really big. But it seems like you 3 have been on all season, to where I don't know who's going to come in and win each night, and it's getting crazier and crazier as we go here now to New Hampshire next week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I say, these guys make you elevate your game. I think for myself, I know I speak for myself here, the biggest thing is to discipline yourself and not try and run your truck into the ground, trying to stay ahead of them, you know. So you have to be disciplined. You got to work on having the best balanced truck that you can. We all got the same setup, so just try and work on a little bit of stuff that you can make yourself have a good balanced truck and not run it into the ground. So I think that's the biggest thing for me is just kind of being disciplined and you know, if they got really good pace, not try and run that pace if you can't. You know, if we get long green flag runs, you know, maybe we can come back at a long green flag run if we take care of our truck. So, I mean, like you say, any of these last 2 races, really anybody can win, and then any of us 3 can win. So it's just going to be who gets hot. New Hampshire's going to be kind of a little bit of a wild card, just because it is such a different place. Again, a lot of discipline. And then, of course, the last race being Las Vegas, that's kind of a little bit of a drafting track. So it's going to be a little bit of a different race, but I still believe that Nick and Jared will be really quick there. So we just got to try and carry the momentum and keep it going for the last 2 races.
Well, it's definitely been one great season by you and everybody in this league. But any shout outs for you, sponsors, friends, family, anything like that?
Yeah, I got to thank David's Racing Products, Fat Mike's Pizza, and all my friends and family that tune in. I appreciate that. And you for everything you do for the broadcast. You do a great job, and I know I speak for everybody in the league. We really appreciate it.
Well, that's our winner for tonight. It's Jason Fensler in the 5, collecting his 4th win of the season here tonight in playoff race number 3. One more race this round, and it'll be at New Hampshire, and then we head off to that Final Four championship race at the tricky Las Vegas. Fun track to have as the championship. See who can roll the dice and come up with snake eyes for that final win. But we're going to move on to second place, and that is another familiar face. I feel like I'm talking to him at least twice a week here, it seems. Nick, you come away with another second place. I think you, Jason, and Jared have racked up more top threes for sure than anybody else, but wins is a whole other story between you three. What did you need in your truck tonight to get to Fensler and try to make the pass? I know I talked to you there on one of those cautions where it just seemed like you guys were running the same pace. Your lap times weren't that far off of each other. He just, pulled away a little bit at a time there. I don't know if it's fresh air or what it was, but, what did you need or what did you see throughout this race to try to make up some ground on him?
Probably just more time turning laps prior to the race. I got it in as much as I could, but it wasn't enough apparently. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like I was running a pretty good line there, especially on that first long run. I was able to keep Jason within a couple seconds, and I felt okay with my pace. And it would have been nice to see what would have happened under green flag pit stops, and but we got that yellow halfway through, and then the second run still felt pretty good, but I guess I must have made contact with the wall or whatever. But the truck just felt really tight that whole second run. So and I just the time that I was able to keep up to Jason in that first run just disappeared. And yeah, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you what I could have needed. Maybe just a little bit more time to figure out the little nuances or what have you of the truck here. But I mean, still content with the second place. Got the pole, but it would have been nice to lead to at least have led one lap, maybe the first lap of the race. But yeah, second place it is.
I mean, Nick, you have been the points leader ever since about midway through the season. You've got the 6 wins. You crowned off yourself as a regular season championship. I know that's not the goal. The goal is that championship trophy at the end of the season. You three, like I said, have at least 14 or 15 of the wins this season throughout this season. I don't see anybody else being in that top 3 or top 4 or who it could be. It could be any one of those guys that are battling from 4th through 8th at this point. But if you three, I'm going to say this now, if you three come out in this championship race and let that 4th driver come in and win that championship, I'm going to be mad at all 3 of you, by the way, because you 3 have dominated this season. And then, to lose it at the end, I'm going to be really mad at you 3. But I have predicted one of the 3 of you for a long time, ever since basically week 4, week 5, that you guys would be in that Final Four and probably be the favorites. Do you 3, at least by you for yourself, are you crowning yourself into that championship 4 with as many points as you've got? You've had a 17-point lead going into this race over Jared and Jason. You 3 again finish 1, 2, 3 in this race, which extends you guys' leads over 4th place. Do you see it being you 3 going in the championship 4, no matter who the 4th is? Do you think it's going to come down to one of you 3?
There's a good chance of that, but given the format of the playoffs, anything could happen. It really only takes like one bad race. Granted, with the 3 of us, we do have a little bit of a point. We have a points cushion a little bit, but it's no guarantee. So if like I have my power go out before the race next week, then I'm out. So that's kind of where we're at, and that's how this format works. So it's always going to be a little bit of roulette. So you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But if everything goes well, then I imagine the 3 of us will be up there, and it is a tight battle for that 4th spot. So I'm kind of curious to see who comes out on top. But I have faith in Jared and Jason and Jamie, and the guys that are up top here in the top 5, give or take. They show up every week and they try to be consistent. So it's still anyone's call. So I mean, granted, we do look like the favorites, but I mean, you never know what can happen.
I mean, your teammate and buddy Jeff No had a really good run tonight. Jumps from 8th in the points up to, I believe, 4th in the points, with Stan Kernathan not being here tonight, and then Austin Greer having that spin coming out of turn 2, like 2 laps into the race, and went 5 laps down. Was never really to get back up in here, even though he qualified 3rd. So Jeff had a really good run tonight. Another, 2 of you in the top 4 again, so for Aeon Motorsports. Good run by you guys, but any shout outs, sponsors, friends, family, anything like that?
Well, yeah, to the rest of the team, I know a couple of them couldn't be here tonight. Jeff No for his P4. I mean, I'm sure he's ecstatic about that.
Oh, I'm sure.
James, I think, just got caught by that yellow at the wrong time. That put him a lap down, so he's kind of stuck there back in traffic a little bit. And the rest of the team, like Michael York and Stan, I'm sure they're watching at home. So shout out to them, and thank you for doing the broadcast each and every week. And yeah. Oh, and Jamie Haynes and Charlie Mosley for putting the league on. I know we got a couple more races left, but looking forward to the end here. So it's been a long season.
That it has been a long season, but you three have made quick work of it with as many wins as you guys got. So congratulations on that top 3 again, and we'll go into New Hampshire next week and see how you guys can do there.
Thank you.
All right, we'll bring up 3rd place, and that's going to be Jared Mogart in that 00. Jared, not the best qualifying position. I mean, you started 6th, but you climbed up pretty quickly. You got past a couple guys there. You get into 3rd. Jeff tries to bring a battle to you late in the race here. You were able to hold your ground and continue on. It seemed like the top line was the preferred line for sure. As the bottom, it didn't look like you could make very many passes on there, but you did make a few passes yourself. How did you get through the field like that to get up into the top 3 position?
Yeah, I screwed up in qualifying. That's just kind of how the whole night went, honestly. It just was bad. P3, but in my opinion, it was a bad race for me. No, I just started 6th and I was able to roll the outside there. Got to 4th, and then rode behind Jamie there for quite a while, and then kind of got into the wall a little bit, and it broke his momentum just enough for me to get that run and kind of sent it in there on the bottom underneath him, and just tried not to wash up too much and really stuff him in the fence, and was able just to get it set in the center and roll and was able to get by him. And then yeah, we were just kind of a 3rd place truck tonight there. I don't know if the 55 was on Freshies there or if we just sucked that bad tonight that he was coming, but I thought for sure he was gonna get us there.
I mean, with this track, I thought it was going to be kind of a Martinsville, Richmond atmosphere of bump and runs and things like that. I didn't see really any bump and runs at all. And it looked like, the bottom line was not the preferred line like you see at a Richmond or a Martinsville where, everybody kind of runs on the bottom. You can't really make passes on the outside like you could here tonight. What was it about the top line that was able to propel you to make those passes?
I don't know. This place. Me personally, I'm usually a lot better here than what I was tonight. But the top lane, it's weird. Like you just kind of roll it and you kind of diamond the center, and typically you want to be the lowest you can be is above that first seam. You got the yellow line and then the first seam. You don't want to be below that. So it's just a really narrow track, and if you run that top and kind of diamond the corner, it makes it pretty much impossible to make passes there on the bottom. It's too flat, and it gets really snappy loose, push loose on the exit of both corners. So it kind of takes the bottom away. So that bottom or the top or middle, you can kind of mess with it is the way to go. But yeah, tonight it was just kind of that top, kind of diamond it, roll the top, whatever. Was the place to be tonight.
It's almost kind of like what I see at Bristol when people run the top line there, where they dive it in, roll it up just a little bit to the top, and then kind of just come out of the corner, kind of aiming down towards the bottom. But that's just from the broadcast booth. That's what it was kind of looking like to me. Is it just didn't look like it had a bottom line at all. Every time I saw somebody get side by side, it was like you just died on the bottom. and just couldn't complete the pass for the most part. But congratulations on your top 3 again. Like I said, you 3, I feel like I'm talking to you 3 almost every single week, maybe minus one of you. But I think at least 2 of you have finished in the top 3 in every single race this season, from what I can remember. So congratulations on the top 3. You 3 continue your points dominance over the rest of the field, and pretty much push yourself to just have a good race next week. Don't have to really be aggressive, and try to move into that championship 4 going to Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's kind of been the plan. I kind of decided that the first race of the playoffs is, we didn't. I mean, wins are nice, right? Everybody wants to win, but big picture racing, just getting to Vegas, it was just about having a really solid top 5 finish the first race of each round, and then just another basically incident-free top 5, ideally, race in the second round. So, tonight P3 beat the guys that it needed to beat in the points, so we gained a little bit there, and then next week just try and get a top 5. I know I've said this before, and I think I've won the last time I said it, but I'm not feeling confident next week. We'll be okay, but I think I'll be happy with the top 5. Just, it's a track we don't race at a lot throughout the sim and in general, and it's been a long time since I've raced there too. So it's just trying to quickly figure out how to get around that place, and just try to have a solid, clean top 5 run.
Well, congratulations again. Any sponsors, family, friends, shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, I just gotta thank TDS Internet, iBuyPower Computers, Asus Monitors, Twitchy Race Reports, Jamie and everybody for putting on the league. Only a couple of races left, so hopefully we can have a couple good races here for them guys to go out with a bang, and you as well for doing the broadcast each and every week. And congrats to Jason on the dub, and we'll be back next week.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up here for our 3rd race of the playoffs here at Lucas Oil. Top 3 finishers tonight: Jason Fenzer with the win, Nick Gowan 2nd, Jared Mogard 3rd. We'll go into New Hampshire next Monday, and then we've got the championship 4 race at Las Vegas the following week. So stay tuned for the next 2 races to see who makes it into that championship 4 and who clinches that championship title at the end of the season here at Las Vegas. But I really appreciate all the viewers and people out there in the chat. And we'll come back tomorrow night for Velocity Motorsports, where I'll probably be talking to Nick Gowan again, or at least most likely in the top 3. But we'll see what happens here tomorrow night at Velocity Motorsports. I'll go live there at about 7:15, 7:30 with Shadowlack in the booth as always. And then we'll see if Thursday night for repeat 1975 over on iRock TV for the Spartan Challenge series that they got going on for the Truck Series. Only a handful of races left in that season as well. And then, like I said, we'll be back here for Monday Night Racing for AAR with 2 races left. Thank you, everybody.